right, let's start with you. So, who is Catherine and what is Life Ally?
So, my name's Catherine Curry, and I started a company called Life Ally. And basically, it's just helping people get their overwhelm under control. So, when you are feeling overwhelmed with all the things, mental clutter, we're able to put a system to that and really evaluate where those pieces of things that you need to work on, like whether it's, getting your vital documents together, whether it's getting a home checklist, a task list, all those things, we can help you create that system so you feel less overwhelmed.
When you think about Life Ally, what problem are you really obsessed with helping people solve?
I want to make people feel good. I know what it feels like to feel overwhelmed and you feel so stuck. And I really want people to not feel stuck and not feel hopeless because when you're doing everything on your own, it's challenging. It's really hard. But that's why Life Ally, that's why we created it. But so you would have an ally to help you through the processes of getting less overwhelmed and getting things in order. And we've got Michael here.
Welcome, Michael, to our conversation.
Yes.
Well, we just turned the calendar on 2025, and now we're approaching here. We're almost a week into 2026 already. It doesn't feel like we should be already. But when we think about starting a new year, we often think about organization. And organization used to feel really simple, like get the new planner, color-coded bins so that you can feel organized as you are approaching a new year. But it feels more complicated now because there are so many tools at our disposal and so many different things that need organized. So when you think about being organized in 2026, what does that actually mean?
Like I said, it's just getting your life in order. It's getting it where everything, because we need everything. We never know when we need things. And so I think the biggest thing is having everything at your fingertips and knowing where everything is. I think that's the biggest piece of organization. It's the frustration of not knowing where stuff is what causes that overwhelm and not having that system in place.
I think systems, like you highlight, is so important. And when we turn to the tips that you have for us in 2026, let's jump into that first big organizational tip for 2026. Where should people truly start? What's your first tip?
Let's do it. Well, I have a list, so I will defer to my list every once in a while. But the first tip I have, and this is so simple, and I have it here with me, is an in tray. This is something that everyone needs to have, an in tray. So I have it sitting at the corner of my desk. Everything that I need to review from the mail, anything, a recipe that I print out, everything goes in that in tray. If there's something that the kids bring home from school, it goes directly into that in tray. And what that does is it consolidates the chaos. And for me, what I used to do was I would have things on my microwave. I would have things sitting by the front door. I would have things sitting by my bedside. They were scattered. And when things are scattered, that's when the overwhelm creeps in because there's everything and when you see it, it triggers your mind and you're like, oh, I got to do that. And so then you're constantly walking around your house going, oh, I got to do that. And that feeling is not the feeling we want to have. And so having an in tray and having everything consolidated in that tray, that means that you get to look at it on your time. So it's not bugging you at your bedside table on top of the microwave when you're cooking popcorn. It's not everywhere. It's consolidating the chaos. And then when you're ready to go look through everything and you've got 30 minutes or an hour, whatever amount of time you have, you can dedicate to that in tray and you can get through things so quickly that way. So my number one 2026, get an in tray.
I love that. An in tray is such a simple thing that we can implement right away that helps eliminate some of the clutter. It gets it all in one spot so that we can back off of that mental overwhelm, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
I think that's so helpful and it's so easy. It doesn't take a ton of work. You literally just put your in tray on your desk or somewhere where you can see to the tasks that you're putting into your in tray. I
Yes.
love that. So what's your second tip for organizing our time, our brain space, and our priorities?
Oh, the second one, I know this again, like these are things that they're incredibly simple, but they're incredibly helpful. And one of the things that I do around my house is I have lazy Susans everywhere. This has helped me so much with organizing spaces. So typically, like, I hated it when I had my spice. You've got your little spice cabinet, and the one that's always in the back is the one that you need. And every time without fail, you like kind of wiggle your arm in there and then everything else falls over. And it's just a pain. Lazy Susans, they're cheap. They're so, they're like $9 a, a Susan. I don't even know what else to say. But I put them in every single cabinet. They go under my kitchen sink. So it has all the, sprays and stuff for there. I have them in my spice drawers, my medicine or my spice cabinets, my medicine cabinets. I even put them in my pantry. I got these big, like 24-inch ones. And so I don't have to reach in the back anymore. And it is a game changer with organization and being able to see what you have. Because when you can't see what you have, you end up buying too much of everything. And just being able to spin it and see exactly, you're not overbuying. And it's an easier way to organize.
The lazy Susan. It's such a great tip. I have one in my bathroom under my bathroom sink for all
Yep.
of my like face stuff and hair products. And you're right. It takes, I didn't even remember that I had purchased some of the items that I had in the back of the cabinet until I put them on the lazy Susan. And now I'm like, oh, I can use this whatever face oil tonight or whatever. And it makes it so much easier to see what you've already purchased. So you're not double purchasing. So that's kind of a finance hack too. Uh,
Oh, totally.
all for
Mhm.
that $7 lazy Susan.
I know. I implemented them in my house about a year or so ago, and I've never looked back.
I love that. All right, so we've got the inbox on our desk. We've got the lazy Susan. What's tip three?
Tip three is utilizing apps for grocery shopping. This one, I learned this not too long ago, and it is a winner. And the reason why I think it is so beneficial is because you can go shop online with your phone while you're looking at recipes. I will tell you or just think, how many times have you gone to the store and you have forgotten one ingredient of a recipe because you just didn't write it down? I don't know how many times I've done this. It happens to me without fail every time. Somehow, some way, I do not transcribe perfectly the recipe onto the list. And I always miss an ingredient. Well, when it's sitting right there and you've got your recipe online and you have your app open, you don't forget. And you're able to find exactly what you need and put it in your thing. And then also, too, financial side, you don't overbuy. So you are only getting exactly what you need at the grocery store. And I think if you go over X number of dollars, it's free pickup. I know for me, I use Kroger. I'm from the South. And so $75 is free pickup. And so I'll look at my schedule, what I have to do when I'm coming back home. It's right along the way on my way home, and I schedule it then. And yeah, I don't overbuy. I don't have to deal with my children. I don't have to deal with them wanting the flavored milk straws and the random things that are hanging on the side. I have saved so much money and been so much better with only ordering what I need when I use an app. So highly, highly recommend, for the financial side and just getting exactly, only getting enough.
uh, grocery apps have saved my impulse buying. It's so easy when you're walking through the grocery store to just pick up what looks good. And
Mhm.
this encourages intentionality. And I love that using the app so that you are intentionally spending money where you know you want to spend it and
Yeah.
you're not regretting purchasing the five candy bars at the checkout or whatever on your way out. I think that's such a great tip. Such a
Yeah.
great tip. You know, one thing, January always feels really good. We're implementing all these tips, and then March feels rough
Mm.
by the time we get to March. So, what's
Yeah.
your fourth tip for staying consistent and building these kinds of these organizational tools so that they actually last?
Okay. Well, fourth tip, I would say this is kind of more holiday related. So clutter is the enemy of organization. And when you are too cluttered, you cannot be organized. And when the holidays roll around, you will get so many gifts that you do not want. People love to gift give, and nine times out of 10, it is exactly what you don't want and exactly what you don't need. So my tip is do not feel guilty about throwing that item away or giving it away, whatever needs to happen, because the real joy was the giving of the gift for the person. So that joy's already happened. And if you are not joyful about keeping that gift, don't feel guilty about giving it away. I know I got a wooden elephant and I'm not a clutter person. And I got this wooden elephant and you say thank you and you're very appreciative about it. But then after that, it goes to Goodwill because clutter, like I said, clutter is organization's enemy. And you cannot stay organized when you've got a million things laying around or you feel guilty about throwing them away. Give yourself grace. Do not feel guilty.
I love that. And it's such a good time to take stock of what we have in our house to get rid of the clutter,
Mhm.
especially right after the holidays. If, well, your house might not be like mine, but I still have the gifts are still sitting around and have not yet found a home in my home. So it's a great time to think about that as they're looking for homes. Like, is
Yeah.
this something that's going to bring me joy? Does it serve a purpose? Is this
Yeah.
something that needs to take up mental space, but also physical space in my home? So that's a
Yeah.
great tip.
It's kind of like, would you buy it or would if you were in a store, would you buy it? And if that's a no, it needs to go
It
out.
needs to go. I love that. If that's a no, it needs to go. I love that. Uh, as you know, life doesn't go according to plan. Kids, work, health, emotions, curveballs, all of that. So, what is your fifth tip for staying organized when everything around us is shifting constantly?
I think getting your vital documents, if you don't have them, or if you do have them, reviewing those every year. Things change. So, vital documents I consider to be your will, your durable power of attorney, your medical directives, and your advanced healthcare directives. Those are kind of the main meat and potatoes of your vital documents, especially as we get older, which happens. But these are the four things that if you don't have them, you need to get them. And if you do have them, it's time to review because maybe you made a big purchase this past year in 2025 and your will needs to be updated. Or maybe the person that you had as your power of attorney, you're not feeling so good about anymore, and you need to change that. It's very inexpensive to do. There are all those legal documents. You can find them online basically for free or for zero, very low dollars spent. And then you can also get them notarized. I know in the state of Tennessee, you can get them notarized by the library, and that's free of charge. And so it's really, really important in 2025, because I'll tell you, I just got my power of attorney done and my advanced healthcare directives. And it was like a weight being lifted off my shoulders. Knowing that my children aren't going to have to worry about that, and knowing that I've got someone, it's my sister. She better she better do right. No, but it's about having that person that's there that I don't feel alone anymore. I don't feel like I'm out there in this world alone. If something happens, my sister is able to pick up the slack, and it's just a really good feeling. So if you don't have them, get them. If you do have them, review them.
A good reminder. We all think that we always have more time, but that is not always the case. And it's really protecting you and your family by getting those vital documents in order. And I know that if someone needs help doing that, they can reach out to Life Ally and you can help them get
Yes.
their
Yes. If you
documents in
need,
order.
yeah, totally. If you need a helping hand, someone that can help point you in the right direction and get you and help you fill all that information out, we can definitely help with that.
Fantastic. You know, I think I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, we're already almost a week into the new year. And I know that there's someone out there listening that already feels that they're behind or they're just not an organized person. So, what is something that you would want them to know if they're listening to this?
I think the biggest piece is give yourself grace. I always say that. I think that's the most important thing. And then knowing that you're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do getting all these things together and getting organized when you feel that's just the worst feeling. And I know what that feels like. And it's just, that's again why Life Ally exists, is so people won't feel like that, and that they actually have someone in their corner that's not going to judge them, that's going to be there for them and help them through this process. And so realizing that you're not alone, and then give yourself grace. It might take you 6 months to get all this stuff done, but that's that's fine. That's we're not judging. No one judges you at all.
Well, I think these are five fantastic tips to help start the year off right. And I know that people are going to feel that even watching this is super helpful. So, if anyone has questions after watching this, how can they get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of Life Ally?
Lifeally.io. So LIFEALLY.io. You can go to the contact and send us a message.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I look forward to our next conversation.
Me too.